Previously, we've talked about the change in just one quantity. Sometimes two quantities change at the same time, and we want to talk about how they change relative to each other. For that purpose, we define a rate of change. Now, a rate of change is a kind of ratio. The rate of change of one quantity, call it y, relative to another quantity, call it x, is the ratio of the change in y to the change in x. Notice I said the average rate of change. Nothing rules out that, y may have been changing faster at the beginning and slower at the end. This is just the average rate of change. So I'm going to show you an example first, and then I'm going to phrase this sentence in terms of variables. So here's an example. Suppose that from 2005 to 2015, the price of a crate of widgets went from $12 to $37. Find the average rate of change in price. And I included relative to time in parentheses. When time is what we're changing relative to, we won't necessarily specify that. So I might have just said, find the average rate of change in price, and stopped there. So let's see. First we calculate the change in price. That's going to be our y value. Then we calculate the change in time. That's going to be our x value. Finally, we compute their ratio. That'll be $25 over 10 years. That's $250 per year. And that's all there is to it. We calculated the two changes, and then we wrote their ratio. Let's state this in terms of variables, just so that we can use algebra to manipulate it. Right, so we have two quantities, x and y, each of which have two values. So we have the starting value of x, the final value of x, the starting value of y, and the final value of y. And then the last thing we're interested in is r, the average rate of change. So let's see. To calculate the change in x, we'll take the final value of x minus the starting value of x. To calculate the change in y, we'll take the final value of y minus the starting value of y. And then we'll write their ratio. It's the change in y over the change in x. And this gives us the average rate of change.